think anytime you come off two straight defeats, I think there's a time where you start to, battle a little confidence. Unfortunately, I thought, we really came out ready to go. The last 4 or 5 minutes of the first half, as I told our team, we got to figure out why we're good or what makes us good. And I thought we lost that at the end of the first half. And so once we did that, I think Miami felt like, hey, we're right there. They came out and played with a lot more confidence in the second half. It's very interesting playing them. As you guys saw, they just space the floor. They go one-on-one, and they have some guys that can make some shots. And, again, they end up shooting 27%, 25% from the three, but it doesn't make you feel much better when, you're up 7 or 8 and they're launching threes from 32 feet. So we got to be better offensively. We were really good in the first 15 minutes. Our team has to figure out, and I have to figure out, why that is. Why were we good in the first 15 minutes and couldn't sustain it? And as I suspect, I really feel like it's because our team has to figure out this is what makes us good.
Chris, your 15-4 run to end it, Darius made 3 or 4 really good plays, the drive and one, and then the kick out to Ryan.
Yep. No, Darius did a great job. He's been playing a little bit more off the ball, but, the value of him being able to play both on and off the ball showed tonight. He was by far our best point guard. And, I think at times that position gets maligned for us. And we may have to do it by committee. And, each of those guys have shown during different periods of time that they can do the job, but they haven't been consistent like we need them to be. But it was great to see Darius as a junior step up and make some plays down the stretch, not just on the offensive end, Jody, but also on the defensive end.
Jordan matched his season high in rebounds and had 4 assists after 2 games with 0. Have you gotten through to him that he needs to do more than score, or what's changed?
Well, I would tell you that the assist deal would probably be a little unfair to anybody the last 2 games, simply because you're playing a team that doesn't allow, both of those teams don't allow a lot of passing. They deny everything 1 pass away. So your assists as a team, for the most part, are going to be low unless you got a dynamic, playmaking dude. But I think, I've had several talks with Jordan about affecting the game in more ways than just scoring. And I really feel like he's tried to do that the last couple games. And we need him to understand what makes him good is doing just that and not just the scoring. And we need it all from him. We need him to play on the defensive end. We need him to rebound. We need him to make great decisions with the ball. We need him to play like a junior. And I think the last couple games he's really responded and done that.
It's evident because of the way they're playing, but what do you like about the way you're using Malik and Enoch, back and forth and about even minutes and so forth?
Yeah, we tried to go to Steven. He, I think without watching on film, it just felt like being down there, he was settling for 8-foot jump hooks instead of 3 feet. And again, I know Rodney Miller's a big dude, and I know he's trying to push Steven out, but Steven's got to be able to seal deeper. The best move is no move. Shaq showed that years ago. And, if we can establish Steve deeper and lower with some movement on the perimeter. I thought in the beginning of the second half our guys weren't moving around much, and they were trying to throw the ball into Steve, but had 4 guys staring at him. So, Malik comes in, he provides some things defensively, and he was a lot more assertive around the basket in the second half offensively, and that's what I need to see out of him.
What did it mean to have other scorers besides Jordan contributing? Like Darius Slade and Malik, guys like that?
Yeah, we need our older players, guys that are very experienced. We need them stepping up offensively. And if we're playing together, if we're pushing the ball, if we're moving the ball when we are in the half court, if we're screening from one another, and the ball gets reversed from side to side, we'll get some good stuff. And I think we did that in the first 15 minutes and maybe the last 5 minutes, but we've got to be more consistent.
You went a really long stretch with just one basketball game. I don't know, do you feel like getting back into kind of a rhythm of playing might be your advantage?
Yeah, it's a little odd, to say the least. You play, you're in January, and you have 6-7 days off. It's a little odd, but contrary to some, I don't make the schedule.
How has Ryan responded to coming off the bench, and how nice was it to see him sink that big three there at the end?
It was really nice, but I really, outside of the three that he hit, I really liked how he played with some emotion and some fire. I think he needs to do that. This is how he's going to, this is his senior year. You only get one senior year. Other guys will be back. But this is, Ryan's last time on the floor, Dwayne's last time on the floor. How do you want to be remembered? And we all know Ryan can shoot. He's gone through a little bit of a slump, but he's got to bring those other things to the table. How much does it mean? I talk to our guys, how you run the race is often determined by how much the race means to you. And it was good to see Ryan play with a lot of passion and talk to his teammates. And I need that from all of the older guys.
And when you're trying to bring somebody like Sam Williamson along, and he had some good moments offensively tonight, but then he has a sequence where that ugly turnover and then fouls the three-point shooter. What's the challenge, or how do you get the message across to somebody like, especially when he's coming off the floor after a tough sequence?
It's hard, man. It's hard. You sit in my seat. It's hard. You want to be able to get him out there and play through mistakes and become experienced. The same mistakes that older guys have made when they were younger. But I do know that I have to play them. I'm going to have to live with some of those. But they're going to have to know that, make too many of them, you're not going to be in the game very long. Not at this level. We're trying to win, and I'm trying to get a deeper team. But, quite honestly, he and David made some boneheaded plays in the second half. And I don't care if they're a freshman or not. We're trying to win. And so they got to be better. They got to be better. And I'm going to keep putting them out there, but they got to be better.
Coach, Dwayne played a lot better tonight. He had 9 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists. What was the message you had for him and from last game compared to now? And what do you think the difference was in his play tonight? I
don't know if I really had, if I was being very honest, a message to strictly Dwayne. Dwayne's a guy I don't worry about. He's always going to be doing it for the right reason. He's always going to play for his teammates. I do get on him at practice to be more vocal. To be more of a leader. I think that's what we lack at times. And he's been through so many experiences. Guys on the team respect the heck out of him because they know he plays for Louisville, and that's never in question. But, when he gets close to double figures or scores double figures and rebounds the way he did tonight, it changes our team. And so it's good to see him respond.
You were speaking earlier about your conversations with Jordan. Do you think that anything that happened either during or shortly after the Kentucky game changed the way he approaches the game?
I think he took a long look at, how he affected the team. We certainly pointed it out on film, but he's a smart kid. But, you got to have a willingness to change as well. And, he is a guy that does care about his teammates and does care about winning. And he's become so much of a better player from last year to this year that, the strides he's made on the defensive end, all you got to do is pop in a tape from a year ago. So I know he wants to become better. And I say this all the time, if he could do it without me instructing, and teaching, and coaching, and mentoring, then he wouldn't need a coach. And so I think he's finding what he needs to do to affect the game, and that's great to see.
One more in the back. From that last game with Florida State, you mentioned how you thought the team was just flat out manhandled. Did you see a definitive improvement in that, and how was that handled during the week, and how was it important to get this win before that the stretch of home games here or road games in the conference?
Getting wins always important. Not important because they're at home or on the road. Every game that we play to win. I would tell you that Florida State is an excellent team, and hopefully we learned a lesson, and hopefully we become better because of it. And I think we will be. Tonight we were the first 15, 16 minutes of the game. We were as good as we've been all year, and for the next 8 or 10 minutes, we weren't. So. Again, as a coach, you're always trying to improve your team, and I thought we took a step forward in a lot of ways tonight.
Thanks.
Thanks.